yesterday. Um, Yesterday, me and my husband was getting ready to go out and go dashing. Um, to go to work to be able to get a postal box. So I'm on the phone with my godmother, and I'm telling her about a situation that happened with my husband's friend. So we're talking, and all of a sudden, my husband pulls out, and the cop had been following him from the time he left the hotel to about 2 minutes, I say 2 or 3 minutes up the road. But he pulls out the hotel, and I'll say about a minute later, cop puts on the lights. So we pull over, and the cop is like, "Oh, well, I just pulled you over because you have the phone holder hanging from your rearview mirror, and you're not supposed to have anything hanging from your rearview mirror." So my husband's confused. He's like, "Well, okay, well, you know, all right, I guess." He's like, "So you're gonna give me a ticket for it?" He's like, "No, I'm not gonna give you a ticket for it. I'm just gonna advise you to, take it down. And my job is just to tell you what the laws are here, and let you on your way." So my husband's like, "Okay." So he's like, "Let me just get your ID, and then I'll run it through the system." And he was like, "Ma'am, let me get your ID." Now, everywhere that I done been, normally you're not supposed to get the passenger's ID unless the passenger is getting a ticket for something. And he didn't give me the impression at all that he was giving me a ticket for anything. So I cooperated. I gave him my ID, and he goes back to the car. And my husband's like, "This is sure taking a long time because now it's going on 10, 15, 20 minutes." And so he's like, "This is taking," and so the guy gets out the car. There's a second patrol car that pulls up. Sorry, let me backtrack. There's a second patrol car that pulls up because it's taking so long. So the second patrol car gets out the car, and at this point, he's just leaning against the car like they're waiting on something. So my husband's like, "Baby, this ain't right. Something's going on. Something's wrong." So when there's a question that you have, I was taught to put one hand out the window and just wave for the cop to come here. So I wave for the cop to come here. And so both of them show up to the window, and they're like, yeah, apparently he has a warrant, but his warrant is for Minnesota only. And it's just for Minnesota. It's like a bench warrant. And he's like, "But you have a nationwide warrant." And I'm like, "What?" So before this happened, the second patrol car, I got to backtrack. The second patrol car officer comes up to me in between waiting and says, "Hey, I need your social because I want to make sure this is the right person." And I'm like, "My social?" He's like, "Yeah, I need your social." So I give him the last four of my social. He goes back to the car. And like I said, we wait another 10 to 15 minutes. And that's when we wave him over. So speeding back forward, he's like, "Yeah, you have a nationwide warrant for you." And I'm like, "For what?" And he was like, "I don't know what it's for. It just says family case from out of DeKalb County." And I was like, "I've never been to DeKalb County, but I feel like I know what the family case is that, someone would want me out of DeKalb County." And so he's like, "Yeah, I'm calling them because you don't seem like the type to be having um, that kind of warrant. That's a real high warrant for a nationwide, wherever you're at, to be expedited." So At this point, we're just waiting on dispatch to get back to him. So all of a sudden, 2 minutes later, as he's explaining, dispatch gets back to him and says, yes, they want her. They want her now. So I asked him, before stepping out the car, I said, and I'm still on the phone. And my godmother's going crazy, and I'm trying to pay attention to what the man is saying. So I'm also trying to explain to her what's going on. Um, so she's like, well, whatever that is, get it figured out and call me right back. So I'm like, okay. So she doesn't hang up the phone during this time. Then he's like, okay, I'm gonna need you to step out the car, and I'm gonna put you in the handcuffs and put you in the car. And at this time, my husband's like, okay. And I'm like, hey, if I go all the way to Georgia and I get what this is cleared up, because it was about my daughter. If y'all watch, y'all know what it's about. It's about my daughter. And I told the police officer, I don't know where she is. I don't know where she is. I don't have her. I could show you the children that I have with me. He's like, even if that's the case, I can't release you because this is a judge signed warrant. So I can't release you on, my own judgment. I still have to take you in. So I'm like, well, if I get that straightened out and I go all the way to Georgia, then what? He's like, then you'll be stuck in Georgia. I'm like, so they're finna drag me all the way somewhere where I don't have the person that they're looking for. Yeah, I know people have been watching my videos, they've been watching my posts. Wherever my daughter is, this is to the people that is doing this, wherever she is, you need to find her because she's not with me. And dragging me, a 5-month pregnant woman, all the way to Georgia from where I'm at, wherever I'm at, because I don't want y'all to know either. The people that are watching, I'm not talking about my supporters, I'm talking about the people who are doing this. I don't want y'all to know either. So, wherever I'm at, all the way to Georgia to find out that she's not with me is stupid as hell. So, anyway, fast forward. So, I get out the car. He puts the pressure on me. My husband goes, she's pregnant. The officer looked like he swallowed about 15 pills. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, she's pregnant. And my husband is going crazy. He's rocking back and forth. He's about to cry. He's like, men don't really cry. So he's like upset. And he's like, she's pregnant. Please do not take my wife all the way to Georgia. I got to figure out how I'm going to get to Georgia with all our children over something that she doesn't even know where that person is. We don't have that person with us. And so he's like, how many months is she? And he told him she's about 5 or 6 months. And I told him, he's like, how many months? I'm like, 5 months. He's like, okay. Still, he's like, I'm still get you to step out the car. I'm still put you in the handcuffs. I got out the car. He put me in the handcuffs. He was about to pull off and take me to the station. And then he's like, I'm going to go ahead and reach out to my dispatch because if you're 5 months pregnant and this is over something that can be settled in family court and they're trying to expedite you all the way for something that could be settled in family court, I don't even think that, they want to spend that kind of money to expedite you all the way from here to Georgia over something that's a family court issue. So he gets in touch with his dispatch, and now it's going on almost 45 to 40 minutes. And he's texting his dispatch, hey, the person is pregnant. Can you find out if they still want her to be expedited? And at this point, I'm upset because I'm like, he's like, I know in my city, because I asked him, I said, are y'all going to put me in general population? Because if they put me in general population, I'm pregnant. Even if I could defend myself, I still risk my child's life, my unborn child's life, and my life. So I'm like, is y'all going to put me in general pop? And I'm crying. And he's like, I know we wouldn't, but I don't know about the next county. The next county might put you in there, but we can't. We're just a small little city, so we can't hold you until they come up here and get you. So we have to transfer you to the main city. So he's waiting on a response. At this time, once he finished telling me that, the dispatcher gets back to him and says, "Oh, well, I just spoke to DeKalb County, and they said that, you know, being that she's 5 months pregnant, their bosses probably don't want her no more." So she's like, but I'm waiting on an official yes or no. So he waits, waiting 5 minutes, waiting 10 minutes. Meanwhile, he's telling my husband, because my husband is going berserk. So he's telling my husband what's going on, you know, just to calm him down, because my husband is shaking so bad. And I'm not even going to say what else he did. But he's shaking so bad that the whole truck is shaking. So, you know, he's basically, hey, Tijuana, he's basically telling him to, you know, call whoever it is, you know, that is doing this, because I explained to him the situation. I told him, you know, basically, this, you know, from what I understood, it was my mother. Come to find out, it wasn't my mother. She did go down to the police station and clear it up once I'll tell you. And obviously I was released, but I wasn't released like that. But he tells him, you know, go ahead, call who you need to call so you can get this cleared up. So he calls, you know, he asks to step out of the truck. They pat him down because he's going crazy. Like I said, he's like, I thought they was taking him to jail. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, no, I just had to do that for my safety because he is going off about you. He really loves you. He is going crazy. That truck is shaking. He is rocking back and forth. He is crying, like yelling. He is upset about you. So they pat him down. He gets out the car. He calls my daughter, who they were looking for, and he tells, hey, call your grandmother, tell her you're not with us, okay, and she needs to go ahead and take this warrant off your mother. So they call my mother, and like, I don't know what the big thing is, but I was literally crying. I don't know what the big change is what I want to say. But I was literally crying because up until this point, if y'all been following my journey, my mother has been, you know, on the other side from get-go. And, you know, to the point where she almost got me locked up before. So that's why I said I almost got locked up again. And this time she's like, no, nope. She's like, nope. Because whatever that child is, no, you're pregnant with my grandchild. Like they don't need to have something like that on you. So she's like, what do you need me to do? I'm gonna go down to the police station and I'm gonna do what I. She's telling my daughter this. She's like, I'm gonna go down to the police station and I'm gonna do what I have to do. So, anyways, I didn't know about this conversation. I'm still in the truck and I'm crying and I'm praying and I'm crying and I'm praying. And the man is like, they're not answering. Like, I done called dispatch myself, and dispatch is saying that now they can't get nobody on the phones. Did he throw up? Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
um Dispatch was like, now I had to check on him. Um, he was smoking a cigarette, and then all of a sudden he started coughing. It seemed like he thrown up. You alright? You sure? Okay. Anywho, um, yeah, so he gets on the phone with them, and they're like, we can't get nobody. We can't get nobody to come to this phone and tell us officially yes or no. So he calls over. He said, I'm gonna call over to dispatch directly. At this point, he said, I'm gonna call over to them, get them, on the phone, um, with them directly. I'm tired of they have a little message system. Just stop thinking about it. Oh no, he just started coughing. Um, yeah, so he's like, I'm gonna get them on the phone. So he calls over to dispatch, and he's like, look, I've been waiting here a good 10 minutes. Um, my dispatcher advised me through the dispatch messaging system that basically she spoke to someone over at their dispatch, and now that they found out she was pregnant, they probably don't want her. But we're waiting for an official message. So he's like, my dispatch then reach out to them through, all the ways, called, through the messaging system, everything. They're not getting back. And so I guess the first dispatch that he spoke to told him that he wasn't working in that city at that time. Um, but he gave him a little information about the policy and what to do in that situation. He was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't read that part of the policy. So he calls another one. He's like, I'm going to call, a different person, and I'm going to try to see if I can get this resolved. So he tells the other one, hey, I just found out that I could advise her and, you know, basically let her go, and, tell them they could get her at a later time, or they can get in touch with someone else, because I done been out here for 15, 20, past already an hour, okay, that we're waiting on this. He said, and I'm done. I'm ready to leave. So he waits, and I guess dispatch gave him the okay, okay. If they don't get back, you go ahead, you release her and advise her to go ahead and get it cleared up, and they can come back and get her. So he waits, and then 5 minutes pass. He comes around the truck. He said, okay, I'm gonna let you go. And so the other patrol car asks him what, what was the solution. And he's like, well, my dispatch is going to send them a message saying, hey, we advised her to go ahead and clear up the warrant. We released her because we gave you a substantial amount of time to get back to us, whether or not you still wanted her, being, being in her current medical condition, and nobody advised. So we're going to release her and advise her, and, y'all could come back and get her, or y'all could send someone else. Um, Once y'all have an official yes or no. So they did that, and then he took the handcuffs off of me, and I immediately got in the truck, and I called my mother, and I told her, I said, this is crazy. I said, this is fucking nuts. I said, now it's one thing for me to go to jail and put myself at risk, but I am pregnant with your grandchild. Like, I am well pregnant with your grandchild. You cannot put me in that kind of situation. Not over a child that, number one, she told me, and she cut me off. She said, I told Nevaeh, when she get 15, she can leave and go wherever she wants to go, Virginia. She said, I said, yeah, but you don't understand. They're trying to put me in jail over a child that's not with me. She said, that's not what I'm saying to you. You're not understanding what I'm saying to you. I told her she could leave and go wherever she wanted to go. So if she wanted to go home, if she wanted to go to the boyfriend in Florida, if she wanted to go to New York, she can go wherever she wanted to go. Because I told her once she get 15, she can leave. So, in that sense, I'm like, so why are they coming after me? If that's the case, if you told her that and you saying you told them that, because she said, I told the caseworker, Mr. Davis, whoever the fuck Mr. Davis is, she said she told you that Nevaeh can go wherever Nevaeh wants to go once she reached 15, and she blocked your ass, and you got mad and went to my baby father and started questioning him, and y'all went in cahoots because he's still mad that he can't get with me. Okay? I'm 8 years married. I have in total, I have 6 kids. But with him, in total, I have 4 children. We're not going nowhere. Okay? We're not going nowhere. It's not a breakup type of thing. It's a long-term, life-looking type of shit. Okay? So you could get over yourself and stop looking for some kind of revenge, because it's over. Move on. Anyways, as far as Mr. Davis, from what my mother told me, she don't want you, bro. She don't want you.
From what the paperwork said, yes, that seems to be her.
And from what my court order says, even though if I go to court, I'm going to bring it up. But for right now, from what my court order says, is that DFACS is no longer the guardian of Nevaeh Miracle Hughes. So, with that being said, if you was to take me to court, and I'm telling you now, Mr. Davis, for a child that I don't have, number one, and then you expedite me and I'm fucking pregnant, number 2. Number 3, if you brought me to court in front of a fucking judge, they would ask you, what the fuck are you doing? Because you don't have custody over her. And the grandmother is blatantly saying she does not want the child. That's who the child was given guardianship to. That's who the mother gave guardianship. If y'all want to say I don't have no parental rights, well, the person who has parental rights says she no longer wants the child. She want to send the child off, whether it be home, whether it be with the boyfriend, whether it be wherever the fuck she want to go. She don't want her. The judge is going to look at you like you're the dumbest motherfucker ever. Because not only do y'all not have jurisdiction over this fucking child, you also don't have a parental guardian. So if the child wants to go the fuck home, that's where we gonna send her. If the child wants to go to a boyfriend house, we'll have to put in some paperwork, because whoever the parent is over the boyfriend gotta adopt her. But the child would not be forced to go in no fucking system, because DFACS has no custody over the child. They do not want any more children in this fucking system. The fucking system is overcrowded. They do not want, do you understand what I'm saying to you, dumb motherfucker? They do not want any more children, whether it be in juvenile, whether it be in foster care. They do not want any more children in the fucking system. It is overcrowded. So, whatever you do, they cannot force the grandmother to take her. They legally cannot force the grandmother. So if you bring the grandmother and drag her to court, I'm going to make you go to jail. The grandmother's not. She's not going to go to jail. And from what I understand, it's been 3 fucking months. That's another thing the judge will bring up. It's been 3 fucking months and the child has been missing. Stupid motherfuckers. The child's been gone for 3 months. And you just now coming up with the mother might be the case? It is not no itty bitty child. That's another thing. She is 15 fucking years old. You know how many 15-year-olds go missing in the foster care system? And you willing to do expedition for a fucking parent that is pregnant, and regardless, the parental guardian do not want the fucking child. You would look so fucking stupid in front of that judge. So fucking stupid. And if you falling up with that stupid motherfucker in New York who's never been to a court case, who has no parental rights, you're just as dumb as him. Because it says it in the court order. Michael Jones has no parental rights. It's in black and white. It actually goes on to say they don't know where the whereabouts of Michael Jones is. So they definitely ain't giving him no parental rights. So you gonna look stupid 2 ways. Then if they say, well, okay, we'll go ahead and give Michael Jones parental rights. I'm pretty sure, and Mr. Davis, you could, call my mother. I'm pretty sure Michael Jones has told you he don't want the child either. The motherfucker is living with his aunt at 40-something years old. I'm pretty sure he told you he doesn't want the child either. This is fucking ridiculous. You got the DeKalb County police station. That's probably why they didn't answer. You got them looking like a bunch of fucking idiots. You willing to expedite someone that is 5 months fucking pregnant, and if something happens to her and she was innocent this whole fucking time, your ass is getting sued hard. DeKalb County, the whole fucking police station is getting sued. The city is getting sued for expediting an innocent bystander who could have settled something in family court. Shit, they could do family court over via chat. That shit was dumb. That was the dumbest shit ever. Anyways, so my mother goes down to the police station. She tells them exactly what I just told y'all. My daughter does not know where Nevaeh is. And I want this warrant removed from my child, Virginia Thomas Jackson. I want it removed from her, and I want to take it off because she don't know where the child is. Last time I heard, the child was in Florida with her boyfriend, and she was pregnant by her boyfriend. The grandmother is saying this. So if the grandmother, hello, little beanie, If the grandmother is saying that she don't know where the child is or where the child is at, and she don't want no parts of the child, y'all gonna look like a bunch of dumbasses in court. A bunch of stupid motherfuckers. The judge gonna be like, I know y'all ain't come up in my courtroom with this.
Especially if the child ran away.
Especially if the grandmother is blatantly saying that the child ran away. I did not report the child missing because I do not care that the child ran the fuck away. So that's another CPS case for my mother. But they don't, what are they gonna do? Instead of you putting the APB out on the child, you put an APB out on the mother who doesn't have the child. The grandmother, the parental guardian, who y'all said has parental rights, is blatantly telling y'all that the child told her where she was at. And y'all didn't put no APB out on the child?
Because they ain't trying to. How many kids did they missing?
That is dumb. No, they ain't trying to. But why would you put out on the parent? The one that you said is not the parent. On top of that, the one that you said you ain't got no parental guardian, parental rights, so the child goes back to the grandmother. And the grandmother is saying, I didn't report her missing because I don't care. I'm happy she's gone. She literally told me that. She said, I'm happy she's gone. I'm happy she's out of my house. I ain't thought about it in 3 whole months. She's been gone for 3 whole fucking months. She said, I'm finna move. And I told the CPS that I do not care that she is gone. I told her when she turned 15, if you want to run off with your boyfriend, if you want to go back home, you are free to go. And she left. She did just that. And the grandmother, who has all the parental rights, y'all say, is saying just that. Yeah, and in my court order, I do. I still have parental rights. It says my parental rights has not been terminated in those exact words. But y'all say I don't have any. But I'm just saying, the person that y'all said has all of the rights is saying that the child's been missing for 3 months and she doesn't give a fuck. So, even on the suspicion alone, if the child was safe, why the fuck does it matter? Because the grandmother who y'all gave the child to, in y'all words, I actually gave her to my mother. Y'all didn't give a shit. But in y'all words, y'all gave it to the grandmother. She's saying that she don't give a fuck about her. She does not care where she's at. All she know is from my mother to Michael Jones and to Mr. Davis. Since you said, she told me, you said, and I quote, I seen the YouTube video. You seen a YouTube video. You don't even know how old that motherfucking video is. You don't even know where the video came from. But you say you seen a video. Okay. Either way, what I'm saying to you is, my mother said she wants the warrant off of her child, Virginia Thomas Jackson. And she do not give a fuck where Nevaeh is, nor does she know where Nevaeh is. Last time she spoke to Nevaeh, if you want to call her number, Mr. Davis, you can get her number from her grandmother. That's what I don't understand. What is this? You and Fatso got together, because from what she said, you fat too. Y'all two fat, miserable motherfuckers, this is her words, got together and decided that y'all was going to interrupt my life. But let me tell you something. Me and my husband is not no rollover type of people. I will sue the fuck out of you, DeKalb County. I think you work for Fulton County. Fulton County, you better leave me the fuck alone because I do not have the child, and you can talk to the parental guardian of the child and ask her where she is. You could get her number. Now, if she do not want to give you her exact location, baby, I can't help you. But I know one thing, even if you could get her, what system is going to tell you it's okay to throw her back in the fucking system? What fucking system is going to say, you know what, ignore the court order that we don't have no jurisdiction over this child. It's okay for you to throw her back in the fucking system. Who? What judge? Let me know what judge is going to sign off on that shit. Okay. So, therefore, leave the fucking child where she is. Leave her where she is. If she's with the boyfriend in Florida and she's been there for the past 3 months, leave her the fuck alone. Go find you some other ass to chase. Michael Jones, I suggest you go find you a fucking clue because I don't want you, bro. I haven't wanted you since, I was 16. It's been 10 years, you pervert. It's been 10 fucking years. And all you do is laugh when somebody tells you you're a pervert. You was a pervert. You fucking preyed on a 16-year-old girl. Go find someone your age. Because you're not even my age. You were 28, I was 16. Go find someone your age. I don't want you. The fuck? It's crazy. I was like, nationwide? Over, and I told the police officer, I said, sir, I could show you who I have with me. He said, it doesn't matter if you did. Over something that could be settled in fucking family court. Where you don't want to take, obviously you don't want to take me to family court because you'll get fucking embarrassed because the grandmother is saying that she don't want the child anymore. She was saying that actually since the first time y'all came knocking on my fucking door. She does not want her. Wasn't y'all supposed to get her to pick her up and she wouldn't? So instead, y'all convinced a fucking two-beat ass CPS worker to drive her. And someone said they had to pay her a lot of fucking money. Ain't nobody pay her shit. It's just miserable ass people in the world that would rather see a little girl miserable and in pain than to be safe and not a statistic. The whole fucking neighborhood heard the child cry out that she did not want to go back to where she came from. But now she's 15. And her grandmother, it was only a year ago, and her grandmother is saying that she does not want the child. She's been gone for 3 months. You haven't heard from the grandmother that, oh, I need her back here. If that's the case, she would have did it in 48 hours. That's the law, ain't it? She would have did it in 48 hours. It's been 3 fucking months. Leave the child where the fuck the child is. Leave her alone. What is y'all fascination aside from both of y'all want someone you can't have? And you can get in a lot of trouble for that. Fraternization. And I know from the first CPS case I had where all this shit went down, fraternization can get you in a lot of trouble, Mr. Davis. You better ask whatever happened to Miss Christina Wright. She was on the run from internal affairs, FBI, the fucking daycare that the children were going to got shut down for embezzlement. The what was it? The social worker, the child social worker, child psychologist, she got fired because she wasn't supposed to do that. She wasn't licensed to be a child psychologist. I'm telling you, we're not the people you want to fuck with. Miss Washington, Miss Jimberlyn Washington, she's also been let go. She was the supervisor of Miss Christina Wright. All those people are gone. Last time I checked, the only person who was in there left was Miss Quadrica Hogan, and she turned over to the DEA because she said when she came in there, her job was not to fraternize with the family. It was to actually make sure the children were going to a safe and stable home. When I gave Nevaeh to my mother, she was in shock because she said, I can't take her from you. And I'm surprised you just gave her to your mother. I said, well, that's what my daughter is saying, that she wants to go. So sometimes a hard head make a sore ass. Now, here it is, 7 years later. And that head is hard. She do not want to be there. Like I said, I don't know where she is, but she doesn't want to be there. Go find her. Put an APB out for her. You don't put an APB out on the fucking parent that you said don't have rights. That makes no fucking sense. Unless you got current proof. The grandmother, who's the guardian, you say, is saying she's with her mother. But the grandmother is saying, my daughter does not know where she is. Anyway, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I just had to speak my piece on this because that was fucking crazy. Me and my husband are still on fucking edge. He is going through, all kinds of anxiety and panic attacks because of what happened the first time. So, yeah, I just had to speak my piece. That is my piece. That y'all need to get with the grandmother. The grandmother is saying that the child is in Florida and she's pregnant with a boyfriend's baby. She ran away. And the grandmother is saying, I don't know. And that is the person that if you take me to court, they're going to pull up in court to say, hey, do you believe that the child is with the mother? If you do you want the child to go back with you? Or do you want the child to go back with the mother? She's blatantly fucking saying she would rather have the child go with me or go, with the boyfriend than to come back to her. Because she does not want her. And like I said, this is not an itty bitty little girl. This girl is 15 years fucking old. That is another thing that the judge looks at. She is 15 years old. Her opinion matters. Bye-bye.